My name is Olivia Francis. I'm a multi-award-winning artist and songwriter living in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to What's Your Birthday and What Does It Mean? Sisters Jeri Isaacs and Donna Bernard, co-moderators of the popular Clubhouse Room, explore life's dynamics from their unique point of view based on the day you are born. Sponsored by NashvilleGuitarGuru.com and DearWiseWomen.com. Always fun, never disappoints. It's always in the cards.
Hey, Donna.
Hey, Jeri.
How are you today?
Good. I'm looking forward to this week's episode.
Me too. We've got our younger sister, Lisa, joining us. It's exciting.
It is exciting because we're, DearWiseWomen.com. We're known as the Sisters on the Clubhouse, 2 nights a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What's your birthday and what does it mean?
Yeah, we've been hosting our club for now over a year, our global community outreach program.
Yes, it started small and became global.
Jeri, we're almost like at 9,000 people that we have in our club, but we've spoken to so many people come back that I think we've spoken to well over 20,000 people.
It's crazy.
Well,
but
it's
exciting.
A community.
It's really fun, though.
It is because it's a community conversation. Why the day you were born sets your personality traits and then the relationship dynamics between people.
Well, I have to say the last few times was a little harder. So most of the time it's really fun. Every once in a while we do get very serious. I mean, we tackle what's before us.
We do tackle what's before us, and sometimes, and we've made so many differences in people's lives for the first time. They say something out loud for the first time, and we're here for entertainment purposes. But when they say something out loud, they own it, and then we say, okay, now it's time for you to seek help. Right? You said it out loud here, and we talk about it. Other people have their viewpoints, or everyone chips in and helps, but then let's go. Take the next step.
Right.
So we get people unstuck in a way sometimes.
Yes, we try to help them sort out their lives.
We do, and it's really fun that we have Lisa on this episode because as our younger sister. Look,
I consider her the matriarch. Sorry. Not sorry, but she just is.
Well, it's the truth. And we're 3 sisters. I'm here in New Jersey. Jeri's in Nashville and Lisa's in New York. And during this pandemic, she's been for many years, a preschool teacher. And she's been working through the pandemic, now preparing toddlers and pre-K for kindergarten. So her 25-year, her careers, she's seen a big shift in getting young children ready for school. But what was interesting, and we were able to talk about so many things. But one of the things that was really important, and what we do here on the club, we do here as relationship dynamics for people, is how do they relate? How do their families relate? How do they come back to the table together? So Lisa now has her family branch, her husband, her 3 sons, 2 daughter-in-laws, and 3 grandbabies. And understanding all of these personalities that, you can navigate through your life and want to be a part of your life. And how do you bring everyone together to the table and know their superpowers and how they can relate to each other to walk out from this pandemic and have this great relationship or really build further, right?
Yep. So we're going to talk to her and give her so many, I think
magic.
She's going to love it. It's magic.
And it's from her.
You got it. I got it.
And you know what, though? But we've done this for people in California. We've done this for people all over the country. But doing this as 3 sisters at the table, I feel like our parents are beaming down from heaven and saying, They're just glowing. You know what? They're dancing up there.
Absolutely. They are dancing. True. But yeah, so why don't we get started and get into hearing what we have to say with Lisa.
It's our thing.
It's always our thing. All right. We'll be right back.
Ain't nothing but a thing. It ain't nothing but a thing. No, you ain't no kind of fool to lose your cool. It ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing but a thing. It ain't nothing but a thing. No, you ain't no kind of fool to lose your cool. It ain't nothing but a thing. It ain't nothing but a thing. It ain't nothing but a thing.
Welcome back, everyone. Hey, Donna, and welcome, Lisa.
Jeri, Lisa, 3 sisters at the table. Jeri and I, we're now known as DearWiseWomen.com. And we've been sharing this conversation now about why the day you were born sets your personality traits. And we've been looking at relationship dynamics between families. So Lisa, Jeri and I, sisters, 4 years apart, in our 60s. And Lisa, we're going to be talking about your family. So it's really kind of fun because as 3 sisters, you know, we've had a long and winding road together. Actually, I live in New Jersey. Lisa lives in New York, and Jeri, you live in Nashville.
Yep.
But we grew up together. And so Lisa, as Jeri and I talk to so many people, and they go, we don't know what we want to be when we grow up. So Lisa, what was it that you wanted to be when you were a child?
When I was a little girl, when I was growing up and I was the youngest of 3, my big aspirations was to have lots of kids. I wanted 67 children and I wanted to drive a bus. And that was my dream. That was my goal. And I hate to say most of it I did. So that was what I had thought of when I was.
Well, you know what, Lisa, you when you accomplished well, you've done many things.
I've done many things.
When you did drive that bus, you had the biggest smile on your face, and it's one of my favorite pictures. So you drove that bus with a smile on your face.
I did.
Now, Jeri, and it was for young children. Jeri, what did you want to do when you grew up?
I think I just always wanted to, well, I was boy crazy. And,
well, that's true.
And I was music crazy. So true. If you put those 2 things together, I really did want to be with someone who, you know, with music. I mean, that was important. So, you know, first marriage was about football and horse racing, and my kids.
The Yankees.
The Yankees and my horses and football. Yes. But then I met Dave, our executive producer, our national guitar guru. And yeah, we've been doing music for the last 25 years and loving it.
It is so much fun. And me, I always wanted to be a businesswoman. I have no idea of what business. I don't even know in the 60s if women could have a business career. But I did want to be a businesswoman, an executive of something. Now, if you told me, now I did have my career journey and to where I am today. But if you said in my 60s I would be co-hosting a talk radio show with my sister Jeri, you know, I would say that's impossible. That's actually probably one of my favorite things that I'm now doing in my life. And we talk to people all over the world and about not only who they are, but who their family, the relationship dynamics. So many people come to us as DearWiseWomen.com. They talk to us 2 nights on the Clubhouse. Well, how will my children learn? What will we do? And here we've been able to help so many people. So Lisa.
So, but wait, before we go on, I have to tell you, I just had a big revelation.
Okay.
About who we are and what we do. I love my revelations.
No, we call that the epiphany moment.
Right. Well, you know, I've just been thinking about what we all wanted to do when we grew up. And
you had an epiphany.
I had an epiphany, and it just occurred to me that Donna, you wanted to be like mommy, the business person. You know, she got dressed up, and you wanted to go to business. And I guess I wanted to be like Norman, because like when our father left, he took the music out of our lives. And, you know, I guess I was always looking to put that music back in.
But he played the accordion.
That's right. He played but he left, and
the piano.
He left with it, you know, and then the music left. And then Lisa, you had to be like Addie, our live-in housekeeper, second mother, the love of all of us.
Absolutely.
You know, but you got her love of children.
That's so it
cooking.
It boggles my mind. I never knew that.
And cooking. I mean, you know,
yeah, that
think
was
about
Addie.
it.
Yeah, it's so true. I still carry a picture of her in my wallet.
Do you?
So do I.
I do.
I don't have any pictures in my wallet. So.
Sitting on our front lawn with her legs to the side. She looks so pretty.
I don't have that picture. I have a picture.
No, it's just my picture.
I have a different picture. We'll have to make copies of all our pictures because I have a different picture of Addie in a beautiful dress, because she would dress up.
I have a picture of her at the World's Fair.
I have that picture too.
And also at my first bridal shower.
Well, that's the picture I have.
Right.
But today's focus is really about Lisa and her family, because as we branch off, right, you have your family. And so as sisters, just to reset, Jeri's is the oldest sister. Jeri's a king of clubs, a 2 of spades, and a 4 of diamonds. Now, I am a 4 of diamonds, a 2 of spades, and a 10 of clubs.
So we have almost identical cards.
We do. And you know, we only started looking at this past year on a deeper level with the 3rd and sometimes 4th, 5th cards. Jeri's king of clubs, master of knowledge, which really is that special sauce that took us to this next level of personality dynamics and relationships. So Lisa is a 2 of diamonds and a 4 of spades and a 6 of diamonds.
Yeah. Well, 2 of diamonds. It's that sales. It's a charmer card, the persuasive card. Someone who knows the value of things and likes to work with people. They need a partner. They need to be emotionally happy in their life. And they do really well as long as they're happy. That's the funniest part of the 2 of diamonds, is the need to be personally fulfilled.
When they're smiling, the whole world is smiling with them.
Yep, there you go. And then your 4 of spades is this stable. The 4s are always positive, and it's a sturdy work card, like a sturdy family card, that people in your home go to you because you're like the rock in that house. And it adds a lot of structure and stability to your life. And then you got the 6 of diamonds, which, gosh, we didn't know that way back. And that gives you financial responsibility, and that makes you the type of person who wants your family to have things but not have debt. You know, no debt hanging over your head.
Pay those bills on time.
Right, good control of the money. And so that's who you are. That's pretty significant. That 6 of diamonds really tells me a lot more than the other cards in a way. It adds to who you are so perfectly.
True. And now Alan is a jack of diamonds, 2 of spades, and an 8 of hearts.
Yeah, I mean, boy, see his cards. So that jack of diamonds, that jack of diamonds is that salesperson card, but like the person who could sell like ice to Eskimos type of thing.
But he's not selling. It's like a very subtle.
But no, the 2 is not selling. The jack is selling.
Yes.
If we're talking to someone who we know does what he does. Like I try to be a little softer if I don't know someone, and because not everyone is into a sales type of thing. But Alan can promote himself, his band, everything he likes. It's so easy for someone who's a jack of diamonds.
Yes.
They don't they're not held back by anything in their head. They just are able to go and do it, which is it's a blessing in a lot of ways.
Right, and he has that youthfulness.
And
that
Jack's always liked to remain youthful.
Yeah.
So, in my mind, he's the one jumping on the bar with his bass guitar.
Absolutely.
Keeps him young.
Even if he hobbles home.
Which he does.
Okay. And then he's got that two of spades, which, okay, everyone's friend. That's not a surprise. Anyone who knows Alan. I mean, the two of you together have so many friends. I hate to say collect friends because I'm not meaning to make it sound bad. It's a good thing, but lots of friendships in your life. Like, both of you have friends from wherever. I don't have any friends from my past. I don't know.
That you know of.
That I know.
That you know of. Anyway, and the Eight of Hearts.
Times. And then the Eight of Hearts, yeah, that's emotional power. So he could basically get away with everything with people, like really when he has this emotional ability to get what he wants when he wants it. So that combined with the Jack of Diamonds is pretty powerful.
And the connection with Lisa is, between the Four of Spades, Two of Spades, the Two of Diamonds, Jack of Diamonds. I mean, it's just in the cards from the day you met, whether you knew that or not, or he knew that.
I knew it.
But let's look at Howie, your oldest son, because we do family dynamics. So Howie's a Five of Diamonds, a Queen of Spades, and the King of Clubs, Jeri.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Well, that Five of Diamonds, interesting card, because, like our bonus dad, Howie Corwin, was a Five of Diamonds.
Yes.
But, and it always manifests in a different way. But a Five of Diamonds, fives are always very restless people. They don't like to sit still, really. Ha! Well, I'm talking about Howie. I should talk. I'm as much a five as anyone. I'm always like this as I talk. I don't know.
Howie bouncing up and down in the diner.
Exactly. Oh my God. So that Five of Diamonds person is, they just have a lot of options in their life. They could end up with, many different careers or different relationships with people, different sets of friends. The five just means restless, and finding a way to do something with it is the best thing. Now, he's got a Queen of Spades, which is the master, the self-mastery card. So he can teach himself whatever he really wants to learn. And he's got a King of Clubs as his third card. So that gives him the knowledge and the ability to search out that knowledge. So between those two, he's got a desire to learn different things and the ability to teach it to himself. So, I'm not sure what he does if he's like that right now, but he certainly has that ability to do all different things.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's interesting because when we started to really discover that third and fourth, the extra cards, that King of Clubs is like his inner superpower that he probably, early in his life really didn't realize, like, that ability. It's like you just don't know that you have that. And knowing Howie for his whole life, yes, he's lived many places. He says, we're going to move, and he moves. And he's taught himself how to be an executive, and he's moved up in very steady.
And he's become very handy. He can just do about anything.
Really?
Well, now that he has a home, he can use YouTube and figure it out.
Exactly.
And that's Howie. Now let's go to Evan. Evan is that Jack of Spades, Eight of Spades, and Jeri, his inner superpower, he's got the Eight of Clubs.
It's wild, really.
Well, it is, because we're not just one-dimensional, right? We have many sides to us.
So that Jack of Spades card is an interesting card. So as a Jack of Spades it's a card of either very high spirituality, not religious, but it's really the actor card. So someone who is a Jack of Spades can really tell great stories. And as long as they stay at the top of the card, They can't do things that aren't good because, like, karma gets them really fast. Like, karma will hit him real fast. So he's got to always be on the high side of that card. And it's he can basically do anything with that card. I mean, his other two cards are really more significant because he's got an 8 of spades, which is that sturdy rock card and powerful in work. So whatever he's doing in work, he can do really well. And that 8 of clubs gives him this mental power to learn whatever. 8 of clubs is also very, they can be stubborn. So it's hard to argue with people who are in 8 of clubs. Like, when they know what they know, hard to change their minds. So he's a really interesting card. There's got a big evolution with the Jack of Spades, because I think they come into this world one way and they sort of have to grow up. Like, more than any other card, they have to make changes and find themselves in order to do well in life, because it's that type of card. And I think he did that, so it's a good thing.
and he will. And it's interesting because in the final segment, when we start relating to famous people that share personality traits, I think that's going to help people really evolve in a new way, because they'll understand their inner superpowers in a new light. So let's look at Jake next. Oh, my Jake.
My King Jake?
Listen, Mommy always said he's going to be president. I don't know. But he's got a long way to go. But you know what's interesting about Jake? He's a Queen of Spades, a King of Clubs, and a 9 of Diamonds. Which, it's funny because Howie has that Queen of Spades and a King of Clubs as well. Like
and a 5 of Diamonds. There's so much alike.
And the 9 of Diamonds, to the 5 of Diamonds. It's crazy how close their cards are.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like this card of self-mastery, he could teach himself anything he wants to teach himself, but he's got to want to. And that King of Clubs gives him the ability, the mental power to do it, and it's all if he wants to. And then he's got that 9 of Diamonds, which is like a philanthropist type of card. Got to have a lot of money to be a philanthropist, but it's a 9 of Diamonds. It's a giving card. It's wanting to help other people. Like, I don't know where he is in his life, but I imagine sometimes not everyone is at that point where they can be giving to other people in their mind yet. It's a spiritual type of thing. So I don't know.
He's early in his life.
I don't know what he does to know if he's makes access to that, if he does anything with that.
Well, he's done philanthropic. He's done good things.
Yeah.
Listen.
Does he help people? Does he help in the?
You know what? He's gone on and done things for like juvenile diabetes. Like he'll join in on the action and do what he needs to do to.
Okay, good.
But he will find himself in a much more impactful position as he grows, because he's still young in this life.
Yeah, he's very young.
So he will lead. But next we're going to talk about your daughter-in-laws, Danielle. Look at this, Jeri. Oy. Danielle is a King of Clubs, a Jack of Diamonds, and an 8 of Hearts. So she is Howie's King of Clubs, and Alan's
Jack of Diamonds,
8 of Hearts, and Jack of Diamonds.
It's almost it's like Howie married a woman who took a lot after his father. I don't know about that.
That's okay.
I mean,
you know what though? I remember the first day I met Danielle, and just sitting down and talking to her, because she was just so smart, like in an understated way. That King of Clubs, she's like the King of Clubs, like Jeri, and I'm the 10 of Clubs, and I just
she
remember.
Just strikes me as a little more shy.
Well, she was, but
not that anymore.
Not
okay.
with me. I don't know.
Yeah.
that was just, that was her Jack of Diamonds in action. She was like doing that soft.
I also think she's an only child, and all of a sudden she's got a very big family.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, she does.
We're a little overwhelming.
Right, but she can navigate it. She's got an 8 of hearts.
That's fine.
And then we have Karen. Karen is at 3 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, and 3 of hearts. And I remember when I first met Karen too, and I adored Karen the first day I met her as well, because I have a lot of friends that are 3 of diamonds to my 4 of diamonds. So there's certain people that I just connect with, and a King of Clubs is one, and a 3 of diamonds is another. So I do remember meeting Karen for the first time, and Jeri, 3 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, and a 3 of hearts.
Yeah, I know that 3 of diamonds is a card that's frequently in my life, as is the 4 of diamonds.
Yes.
So and 5 of diamonds. Those 3 cards are really close to me. But the 3 of diamonds is it's a very creative card. All 3s are creative, and that's a financially creative card. So she wouldn't like to have a lot of debt in her life, and if she all 3s have to use this creative energy that they have and put it into something useful that they do. For instance, when she goes to your house, I always remember her like standing and doing making cookies or whatever she wants to do, and she's put like, if she was nervous, it's her way of dealing with it, because it just takes all that out of her, and it's good, because it's good that she found something to do, because otherwise 3 of diamonds, if they don't have something, then they just get like all worried and indecisive, and they can be fearful, but there's a lot of stuff inside that 3 of diamonds.
Jeri, when we started talking to a lot of people from all over the world that were warriors with the 3 of diamonds, we inspired them with, embrace the warrior in you, not the warrior. And we have made countless
warriors. We're sending out the warriors.
I love that saying. I love embrace the warrior, not the worrier. Yep. That's great.
Yep. We've been saying that for a year now to our 3s.
That's
to our
true.
3s. And then she says 7 of diamonds. And 7 of diamonds are like this unique type of person. And they're just a little different. Not in a bad way. There's usually something that's a little different about them. They sometimes it's just their comedy or the way of thinking, but it's also like this. It's a millionaire's card. So as long as money is looked upon in a spiritual way, meaning you understand money comes out and comes in and it flows in your life, and you keep yourself open to attracting money, money will always be around for her and available to her. She just shouldn't be worried. Like the 3 of diamonds likes to worry about money. But the 7 of diamonds is telling me to tell her, don't worry about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to worry about it.
Absolutely.
And then she's got a 3 of hearts, which is like, it's it's about relationships, about having different relationships. And for her, I think as a doctor, right? Is she practicing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's like someone who's out there talking to different people, in the public. But not, if she was a 5 of hearts, it'd be more people, or 10 of hearts is like lots of people. 3 of hearts, I think, is good for a doctor, because it's more of a one-on-one type of thing.
Right. That's her specialty, is that, yeah.
Dealing with a patient, it's not a 2, but the 2 is not, patient is not her partner. You know what I mean? It's
That's
like
right.
Another person. So it's, adding another person to her life who she's helping. So that's how I see that 3 of hearts.
And I see Karen as a progressive doctor. Like she's someone who really will not only like speak, but will listen. Like she's someone
She always wants to learn too.
Yeah, she is going to be, as she evolves, because she's new in practice,
right?
To be the really successful. And so now we're going to talk about the grandchildren.
But I think we should have a pause first.
Okay.
Let's give a pause, and we will be back in a minute. Okay. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Yes, so we talked about your family and your daughter-in-law, your sons, my 3 sons, and your daughter-in-laws. Next are the grandchildren, right? So now it's so funny. We have the youngest is 1, and now, to the elders. So we do a full review of family, which is really funny. So we have Bryce. Bryce is the 8 of diamonds, King of Spades, and the 3 of hearts.
That's crazy cards. That 8 of diamonds is the sun card. It's the card of someone who loves to shine and be the center of attention. It's usually a person who always smiling, has a smile on their face, and that's who they are. They can become very famous. They love the stage. They just like to be the
doing their
spotlight.
thing.
Yeah, in the spotlight though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the King of Spades, he's got that master card.
Don't tell. Visa, American Express, or Stripe. I'm sorry, Jeri. I had to go for it again.
Eventually, she too will get tired of that joke.
I did for a while, but then we didn't have any Kings of Spades come in our room. So,
but it's an unusual card. There's not that many of them, and so the King of Spades, even though it's the second card, it gives him this ability to just basically do almost anything. It's like the top card in the deck. I mean, it's got all those powers to them, and it's like a heavy crown. Really, like he could be the family leader down the road. Obviously he's not the family leader now. You have to answer to Alan for that, I guess.
He tries to be.
Oh, he already does that. It makes sense. And then he's got that 3 of hearts, and that was what Karen had. And so for so for Bryce, like that, it's with people. It's family, and it's maybe his, variety
of his family. Card.
Yeah, he loves to have his. Does he have a lot of friends?
I mean,
or
it's hard
does
for
he
me
have
to
friends?
know,
Yeah,
but he has friends. Yes.
Yeah. So
Cool. Yeah.
It's a card with a heart. So at his age, it's hard to tell what it would be.
Right.
And then we have Haley. Haley is a 3 of diamonds, 5 of clubs, and the 9 of spades.
So if you want to know what she's going to turn out to be, just think of our cousin Rebecca. Because it's her birthday. So she's got that 3 of diamonds. Again, hates to have debt on her, so I guess
warrior,
not warrior. I guess, she's her mommy's, not her mommy. She's that's not her mommy. Excuse me. She's no. It's her aunt's card because
Karen.
Because it's Karen who has it, not Danielle. So the 3 of diamonds,
and she's a little warrior already.
And it's interesting because little Nora has 3 of diamonds too. So they could be very close, or they could butt heads, depending on if they agree with each other on things. But Haley herself has got that 3 of diamonds, really like warrior type of card. As long as she doesn't worry and now, it's a good thing to know this when they're young, because you can avoid a lot of like anxiety and stuff by making sure that she's challenged and she's headed in the right direction. Because like if not, and if she doesn't challenge herself, she could just end up having a lot of worries and crying and anxiety. Don't leave me. It could come out in a lot of ways. So it's good to know that she has that card and has that. She might go that way if her creativity is not challenged and funneled into the right thing. Now she has that 5 of clubs, which is
why it's important to know the 3 of diamonds with the 5 of clubs, because that's mental power.
Right, and a 5 of clubs person, now the 3s have the creativity, the 5s have the restlessness. So what that would do for her would be, as she gets older, she might have, I want to do this, no, I want to do that. And she might not really know what she wants to do. She might always be looking for the right thing for her to do. She might have a lot of options, because 3, when they're smart, they have a lot of different things that they could end up doing. So it'll be interesting to see what her path is, what she goes to, because she has the abilities there, and she looks just like her grandma.
She does.
I feel like when I'm looking at her, like I'm looking at myself.
I
Like,
see, I
it's
can
so
see that.
weird.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you know what's interesting? Because Lisa has that, you have that two of diamonds.
Yeah, so you have
diamonds. You have a very special bond with her.
You have a spiritual connection to her.
And with Nora too.
And
I mean, with all of your grandchildren, but it's really interesting when you see it laid out and we look at the relationship amongst.
Yep.
You know.
So what's that? What's her third card? It's a nine of spades.
Nine of spades, yeah.
And that is just someone, like, she's as she grows up, she's gonna have to. There's things that she's gonna have to just be like, all right, I'm just gonna let go of that, whatever the thought is, or whatever the thing is, and not carry things with her, like not hold the grudge. Let's say, like, she's gonna have to let go of all that stuff, and each time she will be better off for it, because for her, like being upset with something and holding a grudge might end up hurting her, like physically. Like, she needs to just let go and like move on, and always know that she should, not to wallow in something that was happening.
Right. So if she falls down, she has to get up and let go.
Yeah. That's how I see it. It's hard. The nine of spades in a child is very hard. It's a young one like her.
To understand. But when we start looking at famous people that share the personality traits, I feel like that really explains a lot of secret sauce power that you can help your children with that you don't know. So now Nora is that queen of clubs and that double three of diamonds.
And so what should I say? So if you want to see how she's going to turn out, then just look at my daughter Allison, because she shares her birthday. Aren't you lucky?
Yes, I am.
I'm just like dumbfounded that these two children have my daughter and my best friend's birthday. I mean, right. I just find that so strange. But so that queen of clubs, we can make the warning now. Who knows? By the time she's old enough to drive, they might be
driving.
Right, self-driving cars. There probably will be, or they'll be like bumper cars, and you won't matter. You won't be able to hurt anyone, because queen of clubs are notoriously bad drivers.
They're impatient
drivers. In fact, when I had that accident in September, when I looked at the girl's license, she was a double queen of clubs.
Oh no.
Seriously, I had the accident. I called Donna, and I'm like looking at her license, and I'm going, wait, what is that card? She's a double queen of clubs, and she just went right through the light and hit me and totaled my car.
And I have to say, Jeri, though, the past year and a half, we've been on this global community outreach on the Clubhouse 2 nights a week, speaking to people from all over the world. We're probably over 20,000 mark on how many people. And whenever there's a queen of clubs in the room, they all say, yes, I know. Either they learned it the hard way, or we don't know how many accidents we could have prevented by telling them, like, be patient.
It's funny because Nora will go dive headfirst into anything she sees. Like,
there you go.
She's not driving yet. She's only here, but will be the first one. She dives headfirst into everything she does.
See that? They have, she's going to be like that. And then she's got the double three of diamonds. So she's going to have a little bit of her daddy's like accounting thing, like, I don't think she's going to want to be an accountant, but I think she's going to understand the value of money and not wanting to be in debt. She's probably going to get that from both parents.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about that. She's like, with her mother, they share that three of diamonds card. So she's like her mother's daughter for sure. And, and the three of diamonds, yeah, that's who she's going to be like too. And she also needs to always have something creative to do, because she too could end up being a warrior. So she's got to be the warrior. But I don't think we have to worry about that. I think that she already is a warrior from what you're saying.
And you know what's interesting when we lay out the cards and we look at everyone? So your boys, your 3 sons, Howie, Evan, and Jake, they all have clubs. They all have that mental power. Right? You and Alan, you have the diamonds and the spades and the hearts, but they have the mental. They share that club power. Anyway, so the next segment is really, it's a lot of fun for me because it's where, when Jeri did this on who shared the personality traits, for me and my husband, Peter, we'll be married 36 years this summer, who knew? So it's really in the cards. So Lisa, you shared cards, personality traits with Pat Benatar.
I've met Pat Benatar.
See, heartbreaker, love is a battlefield. We're not going to say hit me with your best shot, but I guess I did.
Not now.
And then Gina Davis, Thelma and Louise.
Love Gina Davis.
And then, so we pick out, it's just something that we do. So Alan has so many choices because there's, James Taylor, you've got a friend. Sweet Baby James, there's so many songs from James Taylor. Howard Stern, that side of him.
Yeah.
We'll go, yep.
The musician, the brown-eyed girl. And Brian Gumble, who loves to talk about sports.
Okay.
And Richard Gere, Pretty Woman. So that's kind of funny.
I always think of Richard Gere as Bruce.
So do I.
Oh, absolutely.
But he could have been. But with James Taylor, like how sweet it is. I could see Alan sitting at the head of his table with his 8 of hearts and his family, and it's how sweet it is.
Wasn't it also Van Morrison there?
Yeah, and Van Morrison. I said brown-eyed girl. I don't.
Who said that?
Oh, that got blipped out. Yeah.
Oh, the brown-eyed girl. Yeah, I don't. But I thought of that. Now Howie. Howie shares a card with 2 of the Beatles, George Harrison or John Lennon. He shares a card with Barry Manilow.
So you tell me, we've been arguing about Barry Manilow now since last night. Yes or no?
No.
Are you a fan of Low like she is?
I'm a fan of Low.
No.
Barry Manilow.
But he's in Copacabana.
Can't smile without you. I mean, listen. I'm a fan of Low, and I'm not a
mommy.
What?
Because mommy would have been a fan of Barry Manilow, so she's mommy.
Right.
Well, but doesn't Howie love Michael Bublé or something, or was that what mommy thought he liked? So he said yes.
I think he did like Michael Bublé. I think he liked it.
I don't know.
I know our dad Howie liked him.
What?
Howie Corwin liked Michael Bublé.
Oh, I thought Howie Wasserman. I thought your son did too. Who knows?
He was probably just trying to make everyone happy.
True. And Walt Disney. There you go. That creative side. Then Danielle, she shares a famous card with Queen Elizabeth, like our sister Jeri. Barbara Feldon, if you remember from Get Smart.
Oh, yeah.
Agent 99, like a spy sitcom. and Debbie Gibson, if she wants to sing.
Don just likes the idea of Barry Manilow and Debbie Gibson singing together. I'm not so sure about that.
I just get a kick out of personality.
Barry Manilow. Sorry.
No, when we did this for a California family that we didn't even know, and they had such a blast at their family table because they didn't even know how to break bread together, and they had a fabulous time. So then we have Evan. Now, what's really fun about Evan is, John Bon Jovi, It's My Life. Wanted Dead or Alive. Just looking at some of his songs, right? And he shares a card with Bob Dylan. We know his music. Well, Jeri had every album. And then Dwight Eisenhower.
Okay.
So these are some of his inner superpowers. If he doesn't understand himself, he might embrace in a new way, because he's in a profession that's really changing, and there's nothing more difficult to change than accountants, because they think it's about numbers. They're stuck. And I started my career by, it wasn't even automated tax return. They wanted their pencil and paper and eraser.
Now it's plugging in.
Well, no, but it's going to change with technology. It's just the resistance that he's in. So then we have Karen, who Drew Barrymore, Lucille Ball. I love Lucy. And I spent a time with Karen. We went with Grandpa Howie when we were in Florida. I forget what show we went to see, but we saw that.
You saw Joan Rivers.
No. Joan Rivers was going to be playing next. We didn't see Joan Rivers. We saw another show. And
Howie took Karen to see Joan Rivers. Oh.
He said, "Oh, I love Joan Rivers." Now, I love Joan Rivers. We did actually a story about Joan Rivers. And Howie's like, "You like Joan Rivers?" So what? Will you be my date? And she was like, "I would be delighted." And this was early in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I remember that Howie, Karen and Grandpa Howie, Karen and I had the most wonderful evening together. And I could see a little Lucille Ball in her, because she does have this kind of this situational funny side of her that I just adored. Because we were three people that hardly knew each other. Well, I knew Howie, of course, he's my bonus dad. But embracing Karen into the family was really fun, and finding that out about her.
I feel stupid, but did we do Danielle?
Yes.
We did.
Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, right, Queen Elizabeth. I'm sorry. Never mind.
That's okay. Get smart. Makes sense sometimes. Then we have Jake. Now, this is special for me because, I get to choose I got to choose this time. So he too shares with Howie, with your son Howie, because they both have that king of clubs, the George Harrison and the John Lennon. So you have two of the Beatles in your life, and you always love the Beatles. But he also shares a card with Sylvester Stallone and Kevin Costner, and my favorite, Fred Astaire.
Not sure if I call him Twinkle Toes, but he does like to dance.
You know what? I just think that, I saw that and I'm like, oh, this is so my Jake. And, and it's really funny because there was a legendary story of when he was, I don't know how old he was. He had to walk a mile, and he just, if I told him to dance, he might have been better because he didn't want to walk. But then your grandchildren, Bryce, she has a card with Ringo Starr. So you have your third Beatle.
The Beatle. I love Ringo.
Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
Billy Idol. And Mark Twain. And we're going to end with a Mark Twain quote, but Mark Twain. Then Haley, she shares a card with Drew Barrymore, because with that. And Carly Simon. If she can sing, I don't know, but that famous song was "You're So Vain." And then Diane Keaton.
Okay.
Annie Hall. And Lisa, I think you'll find this funny. Diane Keaton made her debut in 1968 on Broadway in Hair. Remember when we...
I still talk about that many times.
And so everybody...
The end of the first act still haunts me.
I have this vision that I was actually on stage dancing, but I don't know if that really happened or not.
Third row.
We were like...
Mommy was all the way in the back. We're in the third row.
She did not know the age of Aquarius, that's for sure. And then we have Nora. Nora shares a card with obviously Drew Barrymore as well. Cher, Bonnie Raitt. Let's give me something to talk about. I think Nora will give us lots to talk about. And Paul McCartney.
My fourth Beatle. I got all four of them.
You got all four.
Four Beatles.
All four Beatles in my family.
That's
all
right.
You do. It's really interesting when we see this together because it resets your table. And I just love it. And I hope that this provides lots of joy for you. Because I know you love being with your family. And, one thing that you get to do every day is you can wake up and say to your husband, Alan, today you're going to be James Taylor. Tomorrow you're going to be, Richard Gere. You could just change. We could give you more people, but this way you could always have fun with it and understand that you've got a lot of interesting family members, and I hope to bring out the best in each one of them with their inner superpowers, because we at Dear Wise Women, we hope that we're walking the talk each day. Let's walk the talk together and just emerge from the pandemic, understanding each other from a different point of view, because we're more than sound bites, we're all people. So let's walk this talk together. And if this is Jeri and our way of making a little small change in the world, then that's what we're doing.
In a fun way, and it's great. Thank you.
Well, it's you. Laughter is the best medicine. And actually, when we talked about Bryce being Mark Twain, so one of the Jeri and I, we talked about, because Jeri and I don't have hearts, which is really kind of like a funny joke that we always say, because our mission is to help people, but we don't have hearts. But we're using our club, our 10 of clubs and our King of Clubs combined to help so many people. And we were laughing that we don't have a heart, but we were talking about courage. And Mark Twain wrote, Tom Sawyer, courage is resistance to fear. Well, I didn't open the whole thing. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. That was, I'm not reading the right one because I just here.
But I like that.
Well, there's lots of quotes about courage, but there isn't absence of courage. It's how you manage your courage.
It's not an absence of fear.
It's not absence of fear. It's how you manage. You're courageous in it, right? Courage is the resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear.
Right.
Right?
So we all have fear in us, but it's how we handle it.
Right. And that's what makes emerging the pandemic. I think it was a moment for all of us to reflect. And I hope you enjoyed
a moment or 2 years, something like that. Anyway, I think
sisters,
we're done. Are we just about ready to wrap this up, or?
Yeah, Lisa, it
was very eye-opening, and you had a lot of really great insight into the family. I know you know them, but there were things you don't know, and it was really enjoyable and really eye-opening.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah,
it was great. Thank you.
And we do this for other families because people are saying, "Wait a minute, you did this for me. How can I do this? I want to be sitting in Lisa's seat." Just reach out to us at DearWiseWomen.com, and we can too. You can join us at the table, and we have tier pricing. So this is our gift to you, our sister.
Yep.
Thank you. It was a great gift. I loved it. Thank you.
Enjoy.
All right.
Love you guys.
We love you.
Thank you for joining us today.
Jeri Isaacs. Peace out.